The United States was, for over a decade, the only country in the world to deploy fifth-generation fighter aircraft, with the first fighter of this generation, the F-22 Raptor, having entered service in December 2005, followed by the F-35 9 years later. The U.S. military has fielded the F-22 and F-35 in complementary but very different roles, reflected by the significant differences in their designs, with each having its own relative strengths and shortcomings. A comparison of the two fighters thus provides insight into how they have been designed and what the primary purposes of each fighter are. Development of two fighters in parallel with complementary roles, one heavyweight and more costly and the other light and relatively cheap, is far from unprecedented. The F-22, as an elite heavy fighter, was built to engage the most advanced enemy combat aircraft as a direct successor to the F-15 Sea Eagle and F-4E Phantom from the respective fourth and third generations. Meanwhile, the F-35 follows on from the F-16 Falcon and the F-5E Tiger II in fulfilling the role of a low-cost and versatile light fighter capable of performing any number of roles on the battlefield but specialized in none of them. Heavy air superiority fighters have been far more restricted in their exports compared to their lighter counterparts, with the F-22 banned from export entirely, while lighter aircraft have been built in much larger numbers and widely exported to all manner of U.S. allies and non-aligned states, and in the fourth and fifth generations, also acquired in much larger numbers by the U.S. military itself. The F-35 Lightning II is a Lockheed Martin aircraft first introduced in 2015. On the other hand, the F-22 Raptor was first introduced in 2005 by Lockheed Martin Aeronautics and Boeing Defense, Space and Security. Most of the airframe and weapon systems for the F-22 were developed by Lockheed Martin Aeronautics, while Boeing Defense, Space and Security contributed to the development of wings and integration of avionics and training systems. Let's stack up the F-22 and F-35 against each other and find out the best in them.
3, 2, 1, action.
In 1991, the U.S. Air Force declared Lockheed and Pratt & Whitney as the winners of the program that resulted in the F-22 Raptor. The F-22 Raptor is a twin-engine stealth tactical fighter developed exclusively for the United States Air Force. The aircraft was originally designed as an air superiority aircraft but also has other capabilities like electronic warfare, signal interception, ground attack, etc. The F-22 is a fifth-generation air superiority aircraft, although in stealth technology, it is considered a fourth-generation fighter. It is one of the few aircraft that have super maneuverability, supercruise, stealth, and sensor fusion all on a single platform. Engine configuration. The F-22 is a twin-engine aircraft, whereas the F-35 is a single-engine aircraft. The number of engines an aircraft has is often a subject of debate, but each configuration has its own set of advantages and disadvantages. For instance, in the area of air safety and survivability, twin-engine aircraft outperform single-engine aircraft, whereas in the area of maneuverability and maintainability, a single-engine configuration is preferred. Compact design and roles. The primary role of the F-22 is air-to-air combat, whereas the F-35 is designed to be more adept at air-to-surface warfare. The weapon bays in the F-22 are wide and shallow, while those in the F-35 are narrow and deep. This is because the F-22 is optimized to carry more air-to-air missiles, and the F-35 is optimized for carrying powerful air-to-surface bombs like 2,000-pound joint direct attack munitions. Speed. There is a significant difference in the speed of the F-35 and F-22. This is because the F-22 is designed as an air superiority aircraft. Heat and high operational altitude are the basic features of the F-22, unlike the F-35, which is designed for different roles and capabilities. The maximum speed of the F-22 with afterburners is around Mach 2.25, while for the F-35, the maximum speed is around Mach 1.6 with afterburners, which is slightly greater than the cruising speed of the F-22 at Mach 1.5. Ultimately, the F-22 and F-35 are the most ambitious fighter programs in the Western world to have produced aircraft ready for combat. Although the F-35 is currently restricted to a limited initial operating capability and is not yet ready for medium or high-intensity engagements, the F-22 uses a much higher and more costly airframe that has suffered from difficulty incorporating upgrades and very high maintenance issues. These issues, along with its low production run, mean it is likely to be retired from service decades ahead of the lower maintenance but more modern F-35 or even the old F-15. Although the F-22's airframe had more potential from the outset, the handling of the program means it will eventually be comfortably superseded by the F-35, which continues to receive upgrades and new technologies while efforts to modernize the Raptor have been much more conservative. This contrasts with their predecessors, the F-15 and F-16, which both received upgrades and continue to be improved in parallel, ensuring that the F-22's predecessor, the F-15, has always retained its superiority over its cheaper and lighter counterpart, the F-16. The F-22 and F-35 are set to continue to define the fifth generation for many years to come.